welcome. Let's see. How you guys doing this morning? Good. So I'm a minute late. Decided to make a coffee. There we go. I'll do something like that. Perfect. And then we'll switch the screen back over to the live one. And then we'll open up the door. Get a little more light here. We'll see what we can do. Cool. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Well, look at that. Good morning. Welcome to some live yoga with Janelle on this beautiful Tuesday morning. It's Happy Hips Day, where we take some time and focus in on all those muscles and tightness around the hips area, which we're so prone to. If you've got low back issues, might be something in your hips. If you sit a lot during the day, you might have real tight hips. If you're stressed, you might have tight hips. So there's all sorts of reasons, occurrences for tightness in that area. So we always take some time, twice a week, to work through it. So Tuesdays and Thursdays is our hip focus day. So beautiful little class. They're kind of right in the middle for gentleness. My yin yangs are the easiest class I teach. And then I think the next step up would slightly be this Happy Hips class, a little bit of laying down, some back work, some seated works, occasionally some standing work. And then my more like flow classes will get some standing postures in. We'll get a couple flows in, but the flows are still optional. So if you're worried about trying those because you're thinking it's too much, I give the option to just hang out in a forward fold or take a child's pose, and it's your own class. You are more than welcome to amp it up the most that you want to, or to take it easy and nice and gentle. So it's cool that there's those kind of options there. And it's all kind of good. I try really hard to give lots of varieties. I know sometimes I kind of forget, or if I get a little distracted or I get into it, but always gentle-ish in nature. So that's what we got going on today, is some gentle-ish yoga, focusing in on the hips. And so come on into a position that you can A, be comfortable in, and B, start to become aware of the body. So whether you want to be seated, that's a great option, or if you want to even lay down on your mat, wherever you find yourself, let's roll those shoulders back and down. Let's lengthen through the spine of the head. A little tuck of the chin. Just starting out with a little bit of posture. And then from here, we can start to take a nice big inhale. And a nice full exhale. Let's take another couple sets of those. Breathing in, trying to breathe a little bit deeper. Letting it go. Inhale. And an exhale. And continue breathing in. And letting it out. Feeling that sense of peace, that sense of calm, that awareness of the breath. Maybe the movement of breath. Maybe on those inhales, you start to notice into the lungs, into the rib cage. And can you start to notice into the abdomen? Can you start to engage that diaphragm, breathing a little bit lower, starting to connect with the breath there? Beautiful. So as you're scanning through the body, maybe you're just simply enjoying the breath and letting that be your nice anchor point. Perhaps you also start to notice how you're feeling today. Start to maybe notice that tension. You can feel that little squeeze and that pull on certain areas of the body. Maybe you're aware of openness, things that feel really good. Oh yeah, this finally feels better. Oh, I'm starting to feel a little more relaxed here. You can start to notice through the shoulders, through the spine, the hips, the neck. How are those hamstrings feeling this morning? How are the quads? There's lots of tension usually hanging out. They're some pretty big muscles. They do a lot for us. How are your feet? You checked in with your toes lately? How are your toes doing? Just becoming aware of the entirety of the body. And as you start to build that awareness, your body can start to heal it. We always say you gotta feel it to heal it. That works within the body for things like tension and actually all sorts of things as you start to meditate on things there. But it also works in life with emotions and with relationships with people. If you're not feeling anything, if you're not even aware of it, then you can't possibly do anything about it. But as you start to become aware of different situations, about different things, that's when you can start to bring about change. You still have to have the courage to start going either in that different direction or to make that change in your life. And courage is a really powerful thing as you start to get that and practice that in your own life or even in your own practice. It can be expressed in ways, the courage to hold back. If you know that you can go deeper in a pose, but you're a little sore, a little tired, it can be really courageous for you to ease off and to not express whatever it is to the fullest that you could possibly bring it out to. It could also look like going for something, having the courage to go somewhere or try a pose that maybe you've never tried before. So if you've always done a pose a certain way, maybe you have now the courage to explore a little creativity, maybe embrace a different variation, maybe just move your foot that little bit over there or adjust your arm a little bit over there and have a little bit of fun with it. So I encourage you today, I give you courage today to have courage throughout your practice and to let that spill off of your mat into your everyday life. So if you have an intention you specifically want to set for this time together, go ahead and do so now. What brings you to your mat this morning? What kind of intent, what kind of purpose do you have for this time, for this practice? Let it settle in. If nothing comes to mind, that's okay. You can simply just smile at yourself. A little self-love, always delightful. Let's seal it in with a nice big breath. So taking a nice big inhale and exhale, let it out, maybe even sigh it out. Let's start to wake up to the body, wiggling into fingers, maybe into toes. Maybe you start to roll your shoulders. What kind of movement would you take to wake up your body? If you had all the time in the morning, nothing urging you out of bed, what would you do? How would you wake up? Maybe take that nice good morning stretch, reaching arms up overhead, getting a big stretch through the body. Who knows? All right, if you're in seated like I am, let's roll on down onto our mats here. Finding that nice comfy position. Make sure those shoulders are still rolled back and down. That slight tuck of the chin. Keep the knees nice and bent here, planting the feet in towards the mat so that you can feel that low back now pressing in towards the floor or whatever surface you find yourself on. So just awareness of the spine. Nice tuck of the chin. Take a little moment, Candace. Take a big inhale breath, and let's lengthen it through the spine. So let's get as tall as we possibly can. Maybe you're imagining pulling the head up a little bit. Maybe you feel that little bit of length happening through the shoulders, and maybe you're even pressing through the feet to help anchor and pull the hips down towards the feet. Feel just how tall you could possibly get here, and then relax. Come back towards neutral, let everything shrink back in. I think that's such a cool sensation to play around with, that lengthening of the spine. Really healthy for the spine as well. So let's do that one more time. Nice big inhale. Start to draw the head ever so gently upwards. Just imagining that natural traction, lengthening through the spine. You're sucking those little jelly discs back in between all of those vertebrae bones. Pushing into the feet. Feeling that little tuck of the tailbone as you push your hips towards. Feeling the body pull in opposite directions. Feel that awareness and exhale. Let it go. So wonderful. I don't know why, but I'm just loving that little bit of spine work today. Just kind of helps loosen everything up and can help loosen up the ribs connecting with the spine as well, which feels really nice, or at least I'm liking that. So let's hang out there. It's good. Let's bring our arms up overhead. Let's do that nice good morning stretch here. So still that same length and motion, reaching the hands up if you want a little more. You kick the feet down, pointing through the toes, getting as tall and long as possible. Keep reaching, keep reaching. Maybe you feel now that arch through the spine as that low back lifts off the mat if the legs are extended. Exhale, just drop the arms down, relax through the body. Beautiful. Let's take one more of those. Nice, good morning stretch. Really reach. Oh, so nice and tall. Let it feel good. Point through those toes. And exhale, relax the body. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Taking that nice, gentle rock and roll from side to side. Feeling that massage on the low back. Maybe on the shoulders. Wherever it's happening, just notice where you can feel that little rock from side to side. Maybe you feel the back of the pelvis pressing in. So good. So good. Love it. All right, let's find our stillness. And let's bring our feet up towards the ceiling, holding on behind the knees. Reaching the feet up. Knees do not have to be perfectly straight here. Knees exist in your legs. They have a purpose, so you are allowed to use the knees for that purpose. So if you need to keep them bent here, go ahead and do so. Just trying to find a little length through the back line of the body. You can add a little flex to the feet, bringing the toes in. Maybe you feel that along the calf. If you do want to feel it a little more through the hamstrings, that's when you are pressing the feet up a little higher, trying to straighten through the leg. Be mindful that we haven't really done anything to warm up the legs, so you're just being aware of that tension that exists here. Notice, are you starting to roll onto the top of the head? Let's bring that chin to a little tuck. And if you want to bring this up a level, you can start to release through the hands. Maybe you tuck them under the sits bones. That keeps that low back pressing in, nice and strong. Or you can bring them anywhere alongside the body. That feels good, that helps you stabilize. You can try to keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. Let's take a nice big inhale, breath and lengthen. And exhale, pull the belly button in towards the spine. Feel how nice and strong that core is now. You can maybe even feel it into your posterior muscles, into your back muscles. Keep extending the feet nice and long. Let's bring a little movement here. We're looking up at the sky or up at the ceiling. So let's take a little walk on the ceiling here, starting to wiggle through the feet. Imagining taking just tiny little tiptoe steps. Feet can be flexed, neutral, or pointed, whatever you would prefer here. You just start to get into those hip flexors, moving them back and forth. Maybe you even feel that just gently through those lower abdominal muscles as well. So move in nice and slow, or you can add it a little bit quicker if you want to build up some of that heat and that warmth right off the bat. Just a couple little steps here. Maybe you're just walking outside, getting the mail. Go into the curb. Feeling that engagement through those hip flexors. Maybe even feel it into the low back, into the glutes. Let it feel good. It's okay if it's still challenging. Challenge can still be good. If it's getting painful though, you can always bend the knees to make it even more gentle. Excellent. Keep that movement going. Let's start to make our steps a little bit bigger now. I'm starting to really feel that warmth. Keep breathing. Remember to keep those inhales and those exhales. Use those exhales to really set that core. Be nice and strong. Beautiful. Let's do just a few more on either side. We got this. Nice and big. Excellent. Let's bend the knees and plant the feet and drop the knees gently from side to side, windshield wipering to release. So good. My dog also took a big exhale breath when I did. How cute. What a nice little pupper. All right, let's come back to that stillness. Let's send the feet back up into the air. So bring the knees over the hips. Extend the feet nice and long. Maybe you hold on to the back of the knees to start with. And a gentle little pull. Try to bring the feet even closer towards the face. Feel that nice stretch along the glutes. You can do this with a strap too. If you have a strap, you can lasso the feet. And that adds some nice feedback where you can reach for the toes. if that's an option for you. The strap is a wonderful tool if you need any of those props. Actually, my home studio is selling props to try to stay afloat. So if you need props, send me a message and I will gladly hook you up. Feeling that nice stretch along the hamstrings into the glutes. Let it feel good. I'm going to release through my toes and just send my feet up. Excellent. I'm still pulling the legs over the face. Excellent. I'm going to bend my left knee and put my left foot down on the ground, still keeping my right leg up, extended nice and long. I'm going to add a flex to the foot. So actively bringing the toes in towards the face, extending through the heel. And I'm going to lower the foot nice and slowly all the way down towards the ground. Option to keep it at a hover if you want a little more intensity, or to give it a little rest, and then nice and slowly bring the leg back up. Excellent. Let's lower it back down. So still working with that hip flexor, working with that range of motion as the foot is extended. Try to really bring that foot, pulling it up over the face, and lower it back down. Beautiful. Feeling that. Nice and gently moving through. We'll take just a few more here. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Try to keep the face relaxed. Are you clenching through the teeth at all? And as you do this movement. And if you want a little more intensity into it, you can float that left foot up, engaging in a little bit more core work. Excellent. All right, here's our last one. Really flex through that heel. Let's lower it down nice and slow. Excellent. Bring it all the way back up. So good. You're sending that foot nice and tall towards the ceiling. Maybe you still have that flex, getting that nice stretch through the back line of the body. Let's cross this left leg over top of the right and bring the arms out nice and wide like a T. Drop the legs down towards the left. Just coming into a nice little twist here. Legs can fall, however, they so choose. This left hand can come on top of the legs, adding a little bit of weight. Maybe start to feel that stretch through the IT band. If you want to accentuate that feeling, so just having your hand on your knee, try to imagine rolling your right hip back down onto the ground. So feel that little resistance that feels there all the way across the sideline of the leg, into the glute. There's a nice little resistance stretch, and relax, release. You can do a couple of sets of those, actively trying to press that hip back, opening up through that IT band, and then relaxing, finding softness, letting the body melt. I'm going to take one more of those, so hand on the knee, ever so gently, rolling that right hip back or imagining that direction and moving in that direction. So the goal is to not actually roll onto your back, but just to create that direction of pull through the leg. Gives that side of the hip a beautiful stretch. Excellent. I'm going to relax, release. Just enjoy the nice spinal twist. My right shoulder is nicely planted. I'm going to gaze towards the right, just to feel that all the way through the neck, all the way down to the tailbone. And my head will go back towards neutral. And I'll start to bring my legs back up in this nice crisscross position. I'm now just going to bring my ankle more onto my foot. I'm going to open up my knee, sending my right knee towards the back of the mat. And then let's float the left leg up. You're going to reach on through, grabbing onto the left, behind the left leg. You can hold onto foot and knee if that works best for you. You've got some good flexibility, good range of motion. You can even grab onto the top of the knee. Wherever you can get, where you can roll back down, have your head and your shoulders planted, and still that little tuck of the chin, and relax through the shoulders, pulling the legs in towards the body. With just the strength of the arms, just finding that leverage point where everything can just kind of hang out, feel that beautiful stretch through the right side of the body. This is our reclined pigeon posture, or a reclined figure four, whichever you prefer to call it. So this is a great alternative to our pigeon pose. Still stretches in that same section, still feels really good on the body. Nice big inhale. See if you can lengthen through the crown of the head. Maybe on that exhale you soften, pulling the legs ever so gently in, a little deeper. Nice big inhale. And an exhale. Nice and slowly with control, start to release that left leg, or however you're holding on to the legs here. Let that left foot back down in towards the mat, and let's uncross the legs. Beautiful. You can windshield wiper from the side to side, and feeling the difference from one side and the other, feeling all that openness we've just created through that right side. Beautiful. Let's come back to stillness. And keeping that right foot nice and planted. Make sure that low back is connecting in with the mat. Let's bring left foot up towards the sky. Nice flex through the foot. So try to really bring those toes down equally. Maybe you notice that your big toe tilts in a little bit at that angle. Maybe it's your baby toe. Make sure all the toes are equal distance away from the body and still extending along through that heel. Excellent. Let's start to nice and slow lower it down. Feeling that engagement all throughout the hip to help stabilize. Bring it back up. Nice and slow, not rushing this movement. So see if you can feel what muscles actually need to be used to lift and lower the leg. You might even bring your hand onto your lower abdominals if you want to feel them engage. Maybe you feel that little shake through the hip flexors, maybe through the side of the hip, and even into the low back. So keep lowering and lifting nice and slow, feeling that control. So not letting gravity do the work to lower, but it's actually that little bit of resistance that happens. So maybe you fight gravity a little bit to lower the leg with so much control, keeping that foot nice and flexed. And bring the foot all the way back up. Really try to extend it here and lower back down. So you're getting a stretch on both sides of it. So you're not just coming up to neutral, find that little bit more. Excellent. We'll keep going for just a few more. We'll bring to breathe. Excellent. Feeling that nice connection with the breath and with the movement. You can use inhales to lower, exhales to lift. If that serves you. That might be breathing a little bit quick though, so your choice. Keeping that low back planted in. As you extend the leg, you might notice a little pelvic tilt that can happen. Try to keep that tailbone tucked under, feeling that engagement. Beautiful. I think we've got one or two more. I have lost count, but I try to keep it equal from side to side. So here's our last one. Nice and slow, lowering down. Bring that foot back up. And cross the left leg over the right. Let's bring the arms out and drop the legs down towards the right. Coming into that nice twist. Letting the legs fall. Keep that left shoulder planted. Beautiful. Let's bring that right hand on top of the knee, not actively pulling, just creating that little resistance, that little bit of weight there. And then if you want to get more into that IT band, imagine rolling that left hip back down onto the ground. And getting that nice stretch through there. We'll hold just for a breath or two. And then relax, release. Let the body melt. See if you can soften. You can bring the hand back on the knee. Imagine rolling that hip towards the left. Create that little pull. Create that little sensation. Feel that resistance happening. Beautiful. Keep holding. And exhale. Release. Maybe you feel that deepening through the hip. See if you can relax all of your hip muscles here. Beautiful. And our last little set here. And just gently on the knee. And rolling that left hip back. Feeling that nice pull. Beautiful. Keep holding. And relax, release. And hand can stay on top of the knee should you choose. Gaze can now go towards the left if you want to feel that beautiful twist. Keeping that left shoulder planted, and maybe you roll a little more onto that right hip, dropping the legs down a little farther. Excellent. Return that head to neutral. Release the legs. And start to swing those legs back up. And keeping that same shape though, maybe wiggling the foot. So now the foot or the ankle is right below that knee on the right hand side. And then when you're ready, just start to float right leg up, holding on, grabbing wherever feels good, hugging the legs in towards the body, feeling that pull on the left side now. You can take a little rock side to side if that feels intuitive to you. Keep that chin nice and tucked. Keep pulling the legs in towards the body to deepen and intensify that stretch. And counting in with the breath. Relax through the shoulders. Are you holding any tension through the jaw? And just aware of the body. Maybe use that exhale inside out. Can you relax a little more? Feeling that beautiful stretch all the way through on this little reclined pigeon. Excellent. It's probably one of my favorites. There's so many variations you can do here. I like just keeping the legs bent, but lots of people like to extend the leg you're holding on to. You can pull it in towards the body. Get a little hamstring stretch on that side too, but I love to just relax and focus in on that hip. Let it do its thing, find its openness. So we'll hold here for another breath or two. Maybe you want to sigh it out. I'm going to breathe it in nice and big. And exhale, release. Last one, big breath. Let it go. And then slowly release the foot without slingshotting it, so doing it with control. Bring that right foot back in towards the ground, uncross the legs. Windshield wiper from side to side. And feel that little release. Feel the openness through that left side. As that blood flow, that energy kind of returns back to normal throughout the body. So good. Beautiful. Find your stillness, and however you want to roll yourself up to a seated position, you can go ahead and do so. I like the little rock and roll where you hold on to the knees and roll over the spine a few times, giving it a nice massage. You can roll onto your side. Come on up. Dealer's choice for this one. So making your way into seated. I usually always just sit crisscross, but today I'm going to align ankles in front of ankles, trying to align the heels together. Really, it doesn't matter however you want to sit. Even if you want to sit with your legs extended, it's a great option. Take a nice big inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, roll those shoulders back and down, and then stack those shoulders over the hips. Beautiful. Let's inhale, sweep those arms up, warming up through the arms, through the shoulders. Exhale, pull the hands to heart. Press into the hands here, squeeze those shoulder blades together, activate into those arms, nice and strong. Notice how the core probably engaged a little bit here. You can accentuate that by pulling the belly button in towards the spine ever so slightly. Feel that engagement. Try to keep that engagement as we keep breathing and moving. So use that inhale to sweep those arms up. Keep that engagement. Exhale, hands to heart. Moving through these a couple of times. You can start to gaze and look up if you want the little back bend. Exhale, you can take a nice little bow. Moving through. Feeling good. So nice. Nice warm up. Let's inhale, reach up and hold. Nice and strong. I'm going to come into steeple, so interlacing the fingers, pointer fingers, reach up, find that length. Inhale, really reach, and let's tip over towards the left. And imagine that back sliding down a wall, so keeping that right shoulder rolling open. Keep reaching those hands. Feel that gentle little pull. Feel those obliques be nice and engaged. And let's come all the way back up. Reach it up nice and tall. Over towards the other side, towards the right. Keep reaching. Keep that openness through the body. Beautiful. Reach those arms a little more. Feel that engagement and come back up. Pull the hands to heart. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, tip it over. You can drop that bottom arm down. You can reach a little more. So you can have hands just coming tented to fingertips. You can walk those hands out a little more, finding the depth that feels good, that works best for you. Arm can be really reaching, activating all the way to the fingertips, or it can be relaxed, maybe even just tucking gently behind the neck, behind the head. And my favorite, you can add the little pulse in. Why is this my favorite? I have no idea. I just think it feels really good. I can feel that pull happening through that right hip, through that side body. Excellent. All right, I'm going to reach it back up. Pull all the way back up, reaching it nice and tall. And all the way over towards the other side. Bottom arm drops down. Keep reaching through that hand. Keep finding that openness. Just a little gaze up towards the ceiling will force that shoulder open. Find the depth you want to hang out in. You can add that little pulse in. You can enjoy the stillness. If you tried the pulse, you're like, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't get why this feels so good. Like you just feel it just right through. I don't know. It's good. I like it. You don't have to like it though. I give you permission to not. Excellent. Still keeping those legs grounded in. And let's come all the way back up. Reach it up nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's take a little bow forward. Next, you can rest the elbows on the knees. If that feels good, you can plant the hands down. You can walk the hands forward. Maybe even get the head down. Wherever you find yourself, let it feel good on the hips and good on the low back. That's the goal here for this one. I like the reaching the hands forward because I get a little stretch on the shoulders as well. Get the best bang for my buck here. All right, press on in and start to come up nice and slowly. Now let's switch the feet. So however you're sitting, whether you have one foot in front of the other, bring the opposite foot in front or on top. Your legs are just extended, then hang out as you are. As you were, Captain. Roll those shoulders back and down, lengthen through the crown of the head. Take a nice big breath. And let's inhale, sweep those arms up. Reach it up. Exhale, pull the hands down. So moving through a couple of these, maybe you take that little back bend like a seated cat-cow. And gentle little fold forward. You can really exaggerate these if you want. I'm liking these somewhere in the middle ones where I simply just gaze upward and reach up and pull my hands down. So take one more, let's reach up and hold. Nice and strong. Imagine holding on to a beach ball overhead. Lots of fun. Are those bottom ribs puffing out? Can you pull them in? Engage that core. Keep that nice strength there. Just keep reaching those arms up. And bring palms facing forward. And pull the arms down into your cactus. So squeezing those elbows open. Maybe feel that little squeeze through the shoulder blade. Try to keep that core nice and engaged here. Excellent. Let's reach it up. And maybe add that little resistance, pulling the hands down. Imagine you're moving through molasses. You really got to fight to bring those arms down and really got to fight to bring those arms back up. So reaching it up nice and strong and pulling it back down. Then reaching back up. So good. Reach, reach, reach. Oh, so nice and tall. Bring the hands to touch and pull the hands through heart center. Maybe press the hands together, squeezing those shoulder blades. Let it feel really good. And take a nice little bow. And coming into your forward fold on this side. Simply hanging out wherever, whether you got hands on the knees, elbows on the knees, hands coming forward. Feeling that nice stretch. Oh, my hips on the low back. Maybe even bring your hands to your low back. You give yourself a little massage, a little self-love. One more nice big inhale here. Nice full exhale, soften. Beautiful. Let's walk those hands back up. Coming back to seated. Finding that length. Hands just resting gently on the knees. Taking a moment, recentering, maybe remembering your intention from the beginning of class. Let's take a nice big inhale. Fill the lungs, get nice and tall. Exhale, engage the core. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, nice and strong. So instead of using the exhale to soften, we're using that exhale and to pull everything up and in, almost like you're imagining you jumped into an icy cool lake, that sucking everything in motion and then relaxing through the shoulders. It's like one more of those. Big inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, feel that strength. Beautiful. All right, let's make our way into our tabletop position, coming into our all fours. Feel free to grab a pillow for your knees, or you can always roll your mat a little bit, whether you just want to do one side, folding it over, or grabbing both sides, pinching it. Then look, you've got 3 layers of mat to work with. Super squishy. Should be good. It's why I love using a mat to help with. This mat is already pretty thick and very soft, so I feel like I've got lots of support there. It's really good. So let's inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Nice flat back. Exhale, drop the belly down. Start to look up. Press into the hands here. Extend the head a little bit longer, see if you can lengthen. Beautiful. Coming to that full extension of this little cow pose. And tuck the chin. Round through the spine, coming into that nice angry cat. Pressing into the hands here as well. Accentuating, lifting through that back. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen, drop the belly down, find all of that length through the crown of the head, round it through. If you want to move at these for your own pace, you're more than welcome to. I know I love these really slow and exaggerated. Some people like to feel that movement a little bit more, so you're welcome to take that. Excellent. Pressing it in, taking one more, either way. Excellent. Find that neutral, nice flat spine. Excellent. Making sure those fingers are nice and wide, making sure you have lots of room to stabilize and press into. Pull that belly button into the core. Feel how that tailbone kind of tucks under. Nice flat back. That send those right toes back, touching them down onto the mat. Extend that head nice and long, and walk the left fingertips forward. So still touching down onto the mat, coming into our little baby tiger here. So I've named it, with the foot down and the hand down. Extend long through the head. So this pose is all about creating some traction through the spine. Take a big inhale and lengthen, and exhale, engage that core, lift the foot. If you want a little more, you can lift the hand. Keep reaching, keep feeling all of that length from the fingertips all the way across the spine, down through the hip, out the foot. You can flex the toes, so you're extending through the heel. Feels really nice. You can even point the toes if you want to play around with that. I don't think it officially matters. The traditional version is toes down, hee-hoo-ha. So strict, keep reaching. Sorry, sometimes I just have to make fun of the strict. This is how we said it should be of it. All right, keep reaching. Let's come to 3 little crunches. So bringing elbow towards knee with control, squeezing, and reach it out really tall. Get all of that length back. Bring elbow to knee. Reach it out. Elbow to knee. Reach it out. So good. And drop that left hand down. Drop the knee. Take a little sway from side to side. Maybe you shake up your wrist a little bit if it was getting a little sore. All right, find your stillness. We're not done on this side. I'm just gonna adjust on a different angle here. Bring that right leg back behind you and start to bring it to that 3 o'clock position out towards the right. Beautiful. Planting it in. Make sure you can get the entirety of the foot down to help stabilize, and then walk the hands towards the body, coming up onto the knee. So patting as you need to. Roll those shoulders back and down. Maybe bring hands onto your hips. Take a nice big inhale, lengthen. Exhale, engage. Beautiful. Zip in that inner thigh. So see if you can really start to activate that inner lines of the legs, almost like you're pulling the knee and the foot together. You get a little bit taller. Beautiful. Let's bring those arms out to a T and reach down for the right side. Dropping the hand wherever it lands. Left hand makes that nice line. Feel that nice stretch. Beautiful. If you want a little more, you can flip the palm up. Bring the arm overhead. Even imagine reaching for those toes. Keep pressing into the legs though. Are you now just focusing on the arms and you lost that nice engagement? See if you can get that back. Beautiful. Excellent. Return the arm. Float back up. Excellent. Reach it out nice and strong. Beautiful. Let's come into one more. Nice little side bend here. Planting the hand. Reaching up overhead, beautiful stretch. You can add a little pulse in here. If you, like me, like to play around with that, let it feel good. Find your stillness. Reach it back up. Maybe gaze goes up towards the ceiling. And come on back. Excellent. We're going to land the other way now. And dropping that left hand down in towards the mat. I feel like I just need to be a little bit more square. Doing this on an angle is confusing my brain. Beautiful. Left hand presses in, right hand reaches up, gaze goes up towards the ceiling. Feeling that openness. Keep pressing into the legs. Keep that nice activation. It's almost like you're lifting and opening that hip up as you activate in. Beautiful. Extend long through the crown of the head. And then if you want a little more, maybe you come into the big toe of that right foot. Maybe you start to lift the leg up using those hip flexors. Using those obliques if you want a little more still. And come overhead, making that nice straight line. Excellent. If you're hanging out here, we can do 3 little crunches. Elbow towards knee. And kicking it back out nice and long. Elbow to knee. Kick it out. Excellent. Yeah, might not come very close. That's okay. Reach it out. So strong. Maybe the right hand comes back up. And let's lower the right foot back down. Beautiful. Let's take a couple of nice big sweeping motions with that hand, drawing giant circles. Finding that sweet spot. My circles are coming back a little bit behind me as I gaze up. And let's go the other way. Reaching up. Excellent. Beautiful. One more. Reach it all the way up, so strong. Press into the feet, press into that standing knee. See if you can use those nice core muscles. Engage the core. Pressing into the fingertips. Use those muscles, bring yourself back up. Reach it out, oh, so good. Let's take one more down to the side. Dropping right hand down onto the leg. Reach it up. Come back to your T. Beautiful, let's drop the hands down to that tabletop and bring that right knee in. Take that sway from side to side, really pushing the hip out. So maybe you feel that gentle stretch, pull, a little sensation through that right side. Beautiful, let's find your stillness. And left foot, bring that left foot back. And then swing it over towards the left, coming into that 9 o'clock position, or close there too. Make sure you can press the foot completely down into the mat, into the floor. Take a nice big inhale, lengthen. Exhale, engage the core. Start to walk those hands up. Coming up all the way, patting up this right knee, however you need to. Maybe starting off with your hands on your hips. Zip up those inner thighs. Feel that little tuck of the pelvis that happens. Core is nice and strong. Beautiful. Reach those arms out wide like a T. And drop left hand down. Right arm reaches up. Excellent. Feel that nice stretch. If you want a little more, hand can go overhead. Imagine reaching for those toes. Keep those legs engaged. Feel how that spins that right hip open. Keeping it very square. It's actually a fun one to do kind of against a wall. Brings a lot of awareness for how you really kind of curl into it. So as you roll that right shoulder back, Feel that openness. Beautiful. Let's come on back up. Make that nice T. Take a nice big inhale, lengthen. Exhale, engage the core. Inhale, lengthen, reach through those fingertips. And exhale, drop the left hand back down. Right hand either reaches up or creates that nice angle. And you can add a little pulse if you want. Maybe that hand goes overhead. Feeling that stretch on that right side. So good. Keep pressing into the legs. Don't lose that. Reach and hold. Beautiful. So strong. Use just the core. See if you can really press in to come all the way back up. Reach it out. So strong. So good. Maybe let's come into the other side. So planting that right hand down and lowering it down. Reach that left hand up. Find that openness. Gaze goes up. Let it feel really good. Excellent. If you're ready for more, maybe you're starting to come up just onto that left toe. Maybe you're starting to lift that foot up. Maybe you want to reach that hand overhead. Really reaching. Let's take those 3 little crunches here. Elbow to knee. Reach, reach, reach. Elbow to knee. Reach it out. Last one. Nice and strong. You might really be feeling that on the standing leg. Keep holding. Maybe that leg comes up a little higher. Beautiful. Nice and slow with control. Drop it down. Reach that left arm up. Open up. Imagine that beam of light shooting out through the chest. I always imagine like a little Care Bear. Maybe that just aged me, but that's okay. Reach it up and let's take some nice arm circles. Moving through. Working with that shoulder a little bit. We can't ignore the rest of the body just because it's a hips class. So good. Switching, go the other way. Find that sweet spot. So nice. Excellent. Let's reach those fingers up towards the ceiling, nice and strong. Start to engage, press into the legs. Let's tent the fingers coming up onto fingertips and use that nice core. Float it up, reach it out. So nice and strong. Excellent. Let's bring the hands back down in front, coming into that tabletop. Landing it with control. Bring that lefty in. Take that nice sway from side to side. Really pressing the hip out one way and the next. So nice. Look at all this beautiful sunshine we have today. Hope it's sunny where you are. I'd like to do yoga outside at some point. I just don't want to be eaten by mosquitoes. All right, let's find our stillness and make your way back into a seated position. So sitting down on your mat. I'm going to sit kind of on my left hip and I'm going to stack knee over knee. So even here, you might find a little trigger point on your hip. You're welcome to roll your hips here and go back and forth, grinding over some of those spots. If you need to adjust, you can always come down onto forearm, rolling back and forth. This was not my goal. I just noticed that it was so crazy tight when I got onto this hip. So I'm just going to take a little second, a couple of breaths. If you find that sweet spot, you can roll it out a little bit. There are like myofascial release classes where you do this with a ball underneath. It sounds torturous, but it's really good for the body as well. I'd love to take that course so I can teach it. I think that's hugely beneficial. So coming up, that's my goal. The next steps for Janelle. All right, let's press on back up. Then coming into our deer leg. So taking this top leg, your right leg, and starting to slide it down the other leg, maybe connecting it with the arch of the foot, or maybe just bringing it in front of the foot and creating this weird, nice angle through both of the feet. It's kind of neat because now this top leg is getting some internal rotation as that knee falls inwards. So imagine trying to plant that right sits bone back down on the ground. Take a little moment and adjust through. Find how you might need to adjust or wiggle the feet in order to get there. Maybe sit nice and tall. I always gotta need to release. Yeah, my foot out just a touch. Beautiful. So you might feel a little pinching on that right side. If it's really intense, you can ease off of it by adding some weight into that left arm. Or if you're looking for more intensity, the more you sit up, or even the more you lean over towards the right, will add more intensity through that right hip. Just being gentle with your body though. Make a nice big inhale and lengthen. Then exhale, if you want to add a little more, we can add a twist in. So going in the same direction, but the soles of your feet are going. So maybe you're walking your hands towards the right. You can inhale and lengthen. Exhale, maybe you twist a little deeper. Try to keep those hips nice and relaxed, not overly squeezing through. It's just rotation through the spine. That's all we're doing here. Maybe that gaze goes over that right shoulder. Beautiful. And let's exhale. Release. Come on back. Beautiful. Let's start to bring this back knee back on top. And from here, sitting down onto that right hip. So that right foot might plant. Option is to hang out here with that foot simply planted in, left knee still bent. Or if you want a little more, you can start to bring that foot over across. Or even more still, coming into your cow face legs. Super glamorous names for these. So where you're trying to stack knee over knee, both sits bones are down. So it's really important to try to get that right hip down. The left foot can be floating up. I like to just kind of adjust and align. Beautiful. You'll feel lots of that pull through the right hip if you've got tension there. And hold on to the feet, lengthen through the spine. So don't be hunching into this. See if you can find a little length. And if you want a little more, you can start to bow forward, adding in a little bit. And coming into the depth that your body allows. Just still extending long through the crown of the head. So don't lose all of that beautiful length we created. All that nice traction. Imagine something soft like butter melting in a pan. That usually helps me release my tension. Maybe you want something fluffy like a big teddy bear. As you can imagine something nice and soft, or the act of softening, your body will respond by doing so. Or at least that's the goal. And always try to. There's always things that might help fight it. Beautiful. And another nice big inhale. Maybe on that exhale, you move into that breath, deepening just a millimeter. Might not even be visible to anyone. Maybe you just feel it. And start to come on back up to that nice neutral seated. Let's uncross the legs. Plant both feet in front of you. Inhale. Roll those shoulders back and down. And let's do all of that on the other side. So now rolling onto that right hip. Stacking knee over knee. Taking a little moment. Rolling the hip out. Oh yeah, feeling all those tender spots. You can stay up nice and high. You can come down onto your forearm. Play it around. Feeling that tenderness. This is a great thing. This doesn't have to be just in a yoga class. You can do this on any hard surface floor. It does not work as well in your bed. It's actually usually beds that give us these little aches and pains. So it's nice to roll it out. Still back and forth motion. You can adjust where you're getting by the height that you're at. Excellent. All right, let's journey on back up. Knee is stacked over knee. Let's take this top leg now, this left leg, journey it down the other leg. Maybe aligning it with the sole of the foot, with the arch. Taking a moment, trying to get that left hip really planted down. You're welcome to use a block too if there's lots of space there. I actually just find the blocks to be a touch too big. So taking a moment, adjusting. You can ease off and planting that out. Even if you're planting the hand, like you can still get the twist in by rolling that left shoulder back. Sorry, I didn't cue that on the other side. So it's totally an option. But if you are getting those shoulders over the hips, maybe your hands are hanging out on your knees or on a foot. Let's inhale, get nice and tall. And exhale, walking hand over hand, twisting towards the left or whatever direction the soles of the feet are hanging out in. And so just rotation through the spine, that's all we're going for here. Imagining that hip being nice and relaxed. Maybe you're gazing over that back shoulder, that left shoulder. Imagining that softening, that release. And getting a nice twist in. Nice big inhale. Nice full exhale. Beautiful. And then start to slowly untwist. Coming back to that neutral. And maybe plant your hand down. I'm going to come out, bring that left leg, that back leg back, journeying over top. And then plant that foot down, rolling onto that left hip. So option is to hang out here. Even if you're here, you can still add the forward fold in. I don't feel like you're missing out by not going deeper. And if you're here, you can still add the fold in. Or if you're going for that cow face of stacking knee over knee, feet come out as they need to. Beautiful. Trying to find that stillness. Roll those shoulders back down. See if you can sit nice and tall. Feeling that gentle pull through the left side, maybe. Got some people that don't feel anything here and some people that are dying here. So if you are in either of those camps or anywhere in between, I feel like that's normal. So it's designed to be a nice hip opening stretch through whatever leg is on top. But if you have hips that are designed to hang out like this, then you might not feel it as well. That's how or why we add the nice fold in here. So it's inhale, lengthen, exhale, add that little bow. You can keep hanging onto the legs. You can hold on. I don't know, cupping the knee at some point feels really good. Beautiful. Coming into the depth. You would like to maybe even drop that head down. Like maybe you even get your head all the way down onto the ground or onto a block. Totally an option. Just trying to soften. I'm still trying to keep a nice flat back here. So you can even drop the head and still keep those shoulders rolled back and down. But if you want to soften even through the shoulders, I'm not going to say no. It feels good. Connecting in, taking a few more breaths here. We've got some big muscle groups we're targeting with this. Through the glutes, through those outer hips. So good. Sighing it out always helps me. If I can hear my exhale, my body just automatically starts to soften a little more. Beautiful. Let's start to come on back up. Sitting up nice and tall. Excellent. And let's release the foot. Bringing both legs in front. You can bring your hands behind you. Windshield wiper to release. It's always my favorite. Beautiful. And then find your stillness and roll on back and down onto your mat. Rolling those shoulders back and down. Gentle tuck of the chin. And let's hug those knees in towards the chest. You can simply hang out here, maybe rock back and forth if you want a little more. If you want to help reset that spine, you can reach on through for the feet. However you want to grab them, ankles, feet, big toes, doesn't matter. Bring them up towards the ceiling. Knees draw inwards towards the chest or towards the body. If you can't reach your feet, that's a-okay. You can hold on to the back of the knees and have the exact same effect happen. So you can roll back and forth. Feels good on that little back. Maybe you notice all the openness through the hips. And this nice happy baby, really, you can maybe draw the feet in nice and close. If you want to reset that spine, like I mentioned, you're actively pulling into the feet, actively kicking into the hands, and lengthening through the spine. So maybe when the head floats off just a millimeter, feel that length. Maybe even might get a little crack or a pop through the spine, a little adjustment. And then exhale, soften everything back down. There you are. So good. So here's now the freestyle portion of our class. If there's another pose or movement your body is craving before we settle into our Shavasana, take a little moment and explore it. If it's something that happens on both sides, make sure you get both sides in, keeping that nice little balance. Maybe you want a little reclined cobbler. That's always a crowd pleaser. Maybe you want supported bridge. If you've got a block or something, that feels really good. That lends itself into supported waterfall. With the feet going up, so it's legs up the invisible wall. That's what I like to call it. Wherever you find yourself, let it be wonderful. Let it be playful, creative, imaginative. And then when you're ready, you can sink into your final Shavasana. If you found a pose that you love and you want to hang out, whatever it is for your final Shavasana, you are more than welcome to. If you want that legs up the wall, that reclined cobbler, just let it feel really good. I'm going to hang out here. I'm liking this. Feels good. And we'll just take 3 nice big inhales and exhale to a sigh, whatever it is, whatever noise you feel like making. Ooh, ah, pick a vowel sound. Those tend to work really well. All right, let's breathe it in nice and deep, breathing into that abdomen. Exhale, side out. One more nice big inhale. Exhale, release. Taking your last one together, nice big inhale. Exhale, side out. Feel the body melting in, nice softening. Take a moment, a couple of breaths, and to maybe remember that intention you set at the beginning of class. Maybe setting an intention for the rest of your day or your evening. And this is where I will leave you, my friends. You're welcome to stay laying down. I will roll on up to say goodbye. I thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you had a great class. Feel free to leave any feedback or comments in the comments section. It's always great to have that. And if you have any requests for an upcoming class, feel free to let me know. Not only what pose, but which class you're going to be watching. So that's helpful. Beautiful. Thank you again. I hope that you find joy in every moment of your day. And I pray that you are always blessed. Thank you and namaste.